My gym teacher cared more about flirting than protecting our lives, and honestly, I wasn't even surprised. The only reason he volunteered for the camping trip was to chaperone the beautiful Miss Carter. But of course his wife couldn't know, right? So while he was busy showing off his so-called survival skills, a bear cub wandered into our campsite, sniffing around our tents. Ethan backed up and pointed at it. "Mr. Blake, there's a bear," he squeaked. Mr. Blake just laughed at our terrified faces. "Are you seriously scared of a live teddy bear? It's smaller than my dog." He walked over, picked the cub up by the scruff of its neck, and held it up like it was a stuffed animal, winking at Miss Carter. "You kids need to toughen up. 10 laps for all of you when we get back." He laughed as the cub cried and kicked at the air before tossing it aside and waving us off. "Now, everyone go to sleep." When we tried to speak, he cut us off. "Anyone who interrupts the adults gets a week's detention." Then he turned to Miss Carter sitting by the fire. "These city kids are so dramatic. Want to see the stars by the lake? The view's better away from everyone?" And just like that they left. We all stared at each other wide-eyed. Daphne broke the silence. "Didn't the biology teacher warn us that if there's a cub, the mother is close by?" Noah, the boy with glasses, nodded. "My uncle survived a bear attack. He always told me never to mess with a cub." While we debated what to do, Alex, the smartest kid in our group, started dragging food and coolers into an empty tent, away from where we were sleeping. "Help me," he urged. We scrambled to move everything, piling it into the tent like an offering to some wild god. That's when Mr. Blake appeared again. "What are you doing with all the food?" Alex tried to explain, but Mr. Blake cut him off. "I've had enough of this bear nonsense. One more word and I'll call the warden myself." He stormed away. Not long after, we heard the shrieks of the cub again, closer this time. 2 girls came running, gasping for breath. We just went through the scariest thing, heavy breathing, snapping branches. Something was following us. They showed us claw marks on the trees. My chest tightened. "We have to go." We quickly formed a plan. "The rest of you, warn the teachers. I'll finish hiding the food." But Mr. Blake just flexed by the fire, doing one-handed push-ups to impress Miss Carter. "You kids worry too much." Suddenly, Ethan slipped Mr. Blake's car keys and phone into his back pocket. Mr. Blake stood and glared. "That's it. Detention for all of you." But before he could finish, a deep growl froze us in place. It rumbled like thunder. Then, out of the trees, a massive mother bear stormed into camp, furious. "Run!" Ethan shouted. We bolted toward the vehicles. Mr. Blake popped his head out of his tent. "Where do you think you're going?" "Oh, holy mother of..." He tripped in his sandals and face-planted in the dirt as Miss Carter sprinted straight past him toward the bus. The bear ripped through the teacher's tents before locking eyes on Mr. Blake. He scrambled away, screaming, and bolted into the camp bathroom, slamming the door behind him. Meanwhile, Ethan and I fired up the engines, blaring alarms and high beams to scare the bear off. Then I drove straight to the ranger station. By the time we returned, the bears were gone. Rangers found Mr. Blake locked in a bathroom stall, crying like a baby. One boy even had his phone. He'd recorded everything. "You left 20 kids with a bear?" The ranger repeated it over and over like he couldn't believe it. We explained how Mr. Blake ignored every warning, too busy showing off to Miss Carter. Even she admitted he wasn't paying attention, though she tried to soften her role in all of it. Still, the rangers banned both teachers from ever setting foot on a campsite again, and when our warden arrived, he fired them on the spot. But the best part? By the time Mr. Blake got home, his wife had already changed the locks, after finding out about his little camp romance.